Good evening, everyone. What is treasure to the man? Things that will make him go into things that are not right.
Thank you. Like what?
We were talking about Brazilian hair, Peruvian hair, just now. But that's the truth. That's the current reality. People want Brazilian hair that will actually pay the house rent or your school fees. So when you now complain about Brazilian hair and you don't know how you got the money for the Brazilian hair and you want the Brazilian hair and like I was saying, you have the option not to work. And but you want your husband to get is thinking about house rent, school fees, your clothes, feeding money, and you have to buy Brazilian hair. Or the assurances, excess assurances that you go into. When you call, tell me I have to buy assurance, I tell you what is the color. The time is popular, I can wear my company schedule to the function. You can't tell me not to come for your function, to avoid the schedule. So I must have to your own, so if you don't do that, okay, we'll buy your own. I didn't ask you to buy it. So, what is treasure? Those things that will cause your man to go and do things that are not right, because it's now probably cut a deal here, or look out for something that is not right somewhere. Come on, what we need.
Okay, please can you give her a hand? I'm being told by my organic report that you must write your question. You know, so please, after we take this young gentleman, can you just write your question? It's also help because you can say anything and your wife will know you're the one who said it. So you should write your question.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. First of all, I want to say that I'm so privileged to this program. I never had class. I got my wife as well, but something made me say.
Can we give a hand to a real man who's not afraid to drop it, not to drop his wife on his face?
I want to start by defining pressure. I can say pressure. Pressure is when you go home. Most of these women here go home. Let's see the point. Like she said, this is a very serious issue. I'm just a year married now.
I will tell them how it's
so, you go home because of pressure. You have to work. You have to work. This man said you have to work. You have to make sure you work. I don't know how to work for you. You have to work and achieve this thing. I need money to do this. He said, every responsibility is your responsibility. He said, no. He said, yes. I'm going to have to do it. Yeah. Sorry, but let's face it. I'm not out to do it. Your wife, you're too old about women. You have real women. A real man can achieve if he has a good partner. Can see his fault and break it. Then you say, woman, she doesn't want to embrace it. To get married, right? They thought about the wedding reception. Yeah, after the wedding reception, they forget there's a wedding, a day thing. And the marriage is together. I have a friend who is married at 2 days, going to it. The first day, the second day, the fourth day, also. He said he was searching for the marriage certificate expiring date. Sorry, but it's true. He's no longer in the marriage. The thing is that you have good women around you. And when the Lord is talking, talk about them. Talk about them. So they are seeing the fault and they embrace it. And we don't sin. But to get married, they say, so what have I gotten myself with? So a real man, how to do a real man, I think you don't know what it means. Exactly. Because when you see the legends they have there, it's how they are old like that. They didn't have God. That's why the marriage didn't work. But everything for that thing works. They all have God. So I think we were successful men, but being a real woman. So how do we know a real woman?
Because we have to even ask how to identify a real man. We're still on it. And I'm thinking that I may have to recap after I like one man, just one man. Are we going to say, how do you identify a real man? Because what he did was he gave us another exam. How do you identify a real man? Now we are not finished identifying men. So the answer How do you identify a real man? You promise us, okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. The man is created to be in charge. Everybody should agree. He's in charge of his home, his family, his work, his job. One thing we should not mix together here is the real man and the successful man. Success is good. The real man is the man that is fulfilling his own work. That is fulfilling the reason why he was created. He was created to be in charge. The man is not successful in terms of financial success, but is in charge of his own. He's in charge of his family. He's a real man. My brother practically tried to twist the question and turn it on the other side of the room. And he was actually coming forward. Bible says, either find the wife, find the prophet. The man is created to be in charge. The woman is created to help the man to be in charge. I always say this, he said,
Have you told us how to identify a real man?
I'll told you one. One is a man that is in charge. It doesn't necessarily mean he's successful.
In charge of what?
In charge of his house. In charge of his house.
Okay, so a responsible man again, like you said. You even believe that when we live here, I want all the ladies to do for one real man. Yes, now.
But we see, a man in charge of his home, that means he's taking care of the house. He's taking care of the wife. The woman is created to help the man to be in charge. And I always say that if the helper is coming to help you in those areas where you are weak. So the woman,
they are weak in rent, for instance.
now, if my wife is trying to buy Brazilian hair, she's helping me to buy Brazilian hair.
Hey, I like that.
If my wife is trying to put food on the table when I couldn't do that, she's helping me to put food on the table. She's fulfilling our purpose. That does not mean that I will share my responsibility as a man. I like what Mr. Hayes said. Responsibility. The man is in charge because he's taking responsibility of his house. The way he manages his house to the point that the wife is willing without being compelled to help him.
Correct.
That is a marvelous one. The way he manages his home in such a way that the wife is willing without being compelled. Without being compelled, physically, mentally, emotionally, or psychologically.
Absolutely.
Do you agree with me? And the real men there agree. Can you give them a hand? In one book, Designing Your Marriage, what I said is part of the things you look out for in a real man is vision. Vision. What is vision? He has plans for a different future. He may not have it now. He may not look like it now, but you know that within him lies a greater future. I know many of the real women married to real men here. The men didn't look like it when we met them. I remember Mr. Esther, am I free? I'm saying for you. I remember Mr. Esther, and I was using the table racer. Do you remember table racer lady? He was asked to say, "Oh, big girl." Table racer. And we entered Mr. A's car, and I put on the electric windows. And he said, I wouldn't ask you to do that. I said, why? Because he has no AC. How do you have AC? Am I going to manage? But you know, today, I don't think there's any car that doesn't have an AC. This year, there must be vision. He doesn't want me to tell them about first Christmas dinner. You want to hear? Yeah! I will say that Christmas, we were very buoyant, talking like Christians. We had 300 regardless. So when I was pregnant, so what do we do? I said, do they pay to look at the ocean? He said, no. So I said, let's go to Badagry Beach. So we went to Badagry Beach in my table racer because I had a AC. So, on the way, I'm very kind of it. I gave some boys 40 naira. We now took of 20 naira. We were going back home. We thought, we have to change it. It's Christmas. So, some people were selling chicken. So, we bought ourselves a chicken. Now, I don't stay in the same compartment with birds, just for you to know. So, we said, we should put the chicken in the box. So, we put the chicken in the box and we got home. Christmas tomorrow. So, we brought out the chicken. The chicken said, "Be careful. Handle me carefully." I said, "What He's killing my mom said that she's dead. She said, well, he dead when we got to her. So he went and called the neck again, and I went to him and he wasn't doing that chicken kind of thing, but I don't remember. He was part of the next day when we finished cooking our dead chicken and everything. Here comes my husband's auntie with 6 children. They have only 2 now. 6 children. They filled every seat in our living room. You know we have 7 sisters. That dead chicken, I definitely eat. Not the guys. But you don't say you wanted a cow or even an elephant. You know what I'm saying? So his vision. I thought he was going somewhere. I believe in his vision. That means we need to meet a man who, like Tony said, is intellectual. He can communicate his vision. He can say it's not so good to take a half plans. So women look for, sometimes when we go on dates, it's not about roses, it's not about flowers, it's about what is your plan. Where are you going? I don't need to Louis Vuitton today, but sometime in the future, perhaps, it will not be a bad idea. And then understand that not all men know how to communicate properly, because men are not as good communicators as women are. You know what I'm saying? The truth is, for us, the neurons that carry words is like an expressway, but the men is like, you know, a lady that's going to. So you get, so we talk better than ladies, but draw it out. The Bible says that counsel in the heart of the man is like deep water, but the man's understanding will draw it out. So you draw it out, where is he going? And if he's going nowhere, don't join him. Yes, I need to say that. Because you need to ask, what is your destination, where are you going? Women just generally jump into any car. If you are going to Osho, do you hear them saying, you know, I will be in your car? You enter because the Lekki car is looking very clean. It has AC. It is a Lamborghini. So your destination is Osho, but because it looks good, man,
you just follow.
You follow the God that's going to Lekki. Then 10 years down the line, you say, it does not fulfill me and it does not allow me to fulfill my sins. I'm not fulfilled. Do you still love me?
Let me take it.
Yeah, I love you.
I do. Okay, coming back to the issue of real men, and I want to talk about real men within marriages. There's something, we're talking about pressure, what puts pressure on men. And a lot of times, when you boil down to the basics, it all boils down to money. Money, finance. Finance is a major issue in marriage. And as the question was going on, I started thinking that how did I solve this problem myself? Because it was a major problem for me. Every month, as the month end is coming through, my face will change, I'll become hard. And I knew the question was coming, and as soon as I will create a fight, just so that that question will not happen. And it will still come through. And the list will come, you will cut it down. Why do you have to buy this? Why do you have to pay this? It's always a problem. And I started racking my brains at how do I solve this problem? And God gave me wisdom one day. And I want to share it with this house. It's very difficult, and I find that many men don't do it. But one day, out of frustration, I just said to my wife, I said, you know what, take. These are all the accounts. Carry. Handle it. Take it. You go to joint account, you manage it, manage all the accounts, you know how much is there. Now, that relieved me of one pressure immediately. But the second thing I found out, which was the wisdom in that, is that I found that women are by far greater and better managers of finance than men. Now, by far. And there's no woman that loves her home, that will destroy her home by spending more than you have. So I found out straight away that the thing that happened is that she began to manage. She started cutting, first of all, she cut her coats well below her size self. Cut my own well within size. And the finances healed immediately. My finances healed. And from that point on, the man that talked about helper, you now saw somebody who was helping you expand. You also spoke about it. Expand to meet the requirements. Believe me, we're talking about, how long now? About 10 years, thereabouts. It's been about 10 years or so, maybe more, from Sule. So about 14 years. So it's about 14 years since I did that. And she started managing the accounts up until date. Even now, when I tell her manage the account, I say, no, you manage it. that she's tired of managing the account. But the point being that women will manage your finances better than you.
I actually want to build on what I said. I think the purpose of this session also is probably for us to share some of our individual, experiences. Mine goes way back from toys, and it lands at the same spot. I'll tell you, I met my wife in '91, September, and December was a time for a critical decision for me. I was moving into my own place, and from the day we met, even as, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, I exposed her to how much I earned working as a trainee in Guinness. And when it got to December, I had to make some calls. And because she knew what I had with me, she basically gave me the idea and the direction on what to do. And I tell you, that actually helped from that day. And I tell you till today, I don't know how God gave me the wisdom. At the point, I used to call her my financial manager, and she said I should stop before my family, she's not the one. But really and truly, there's some decisions that I made from that day. Number one, I ensure that I give my wife a personal allowance, irrespective. Separate from housekeeping, taking care of all of it. No, before you start talking, it's not and up until this day, I hear all the thoughts people have. You look at, I said it initially, it took faith to be able to believe that this guy will be something, somebody, someday. And do you have that faith? This woman sitting in front here, I now said to her, this is all I have. Every time I have a pay increase, and I get my letter of promotion or whatever, she's the one that opens it, she knows how much I earn. I started that at the time when I had nothing. And so even now, when I get a job offer, I do not just share it with her, she's the critical stakeholder in the job I take. And also my son. They all come into the party and say, this job, what do you want? At this point in time in our life, this is what we want, this is the job that brings it. And we look at it as a family. Question, and the point is, what you can't take when you are rich, you can never take it when you are poor. You have to know when to start. But the problem is that most of us just think we'll arrive at that destination. And I look at people, you'll be looking at us and saying, these men are successful. And boy, if you hear my story, Korode's car was better than mine. Mine was in Mukamuka. This woman was, and if she gives you, everybody has a past. But one thing we must understand, madam, I really appreciate what you said about working, but the platform on which we are standing is the word of God. A man has to be a master of his household. A woman is a helpmate. And being a helpmate means that this person is not going to carry the work of the man that's supposed to be helping. That's one. There are fundamental principles. You can say the man of today is different from yesterday. I say no. Why? Jesus Christ is the only one that yesterday, today, and forever. There is nothing about today's man. It's the man that has been defined. And that man is the one that should take full responsibility. Giving the wife the leeway to decide how she wants to play because she's a helpmate.